You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk.
Greetings, my visionary dreamers. Yes, I don't have the music today because I am traveling. And y'all know how I do when I'm traveling. I have finally figured out this new phone and how to download the things I needed to download, except for the song. So those who are just tuning in, this is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bullshit. And you are listening to Chronicles of Living podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know us, extraordinary folks, doing the damn thing the best way we can. That's all we're doing. Just doing it the best way we can. Just like I'm doing right now. I had to stop at a gas station. First off, I had to stop at Walmart because I thought that I was going to make it back in time to use my setup, but just to be sure, I wanted to get another headset so that the mic would work. Well, I didn't really pay attention because I was rushing, and I wound up just getting the same thing, wireless headphones. So they're charging. So I had to take a chance with the ones I already had. Nevertheless, it's always good to have backup. So we're going to just get right to the topic of today. First of all, I just love you guys so much. You know, it takes a lot to stay committed to a show to make sure that you can go live when you have, so many other things going on in your life. Like right now, I'm really maneuvering a whole lot this whole weekend, and I will share. It's all good. I will share with y'all, I think maybe in a couple more episodes, because I have to put some things in place before I share with you this new transformation in my life. And so right now, the topic of the day is, as you learn who you are, amazing things begin to happen. And I just came up with that topic. I'm not even going to put nothing else on it. I was riding, I'm running late, and I was like, okay, I got to pull over. I need to get some more gas. So when I pull over, I'm just going to park and do the show so that I can be on time for you guys today. And I'm just sitting there like, what am I going to talk about? I mean, as usual, a lot of topics came through my head, but because of the transformation that I'm going through right now, which is all good, I thought this would be appropriate, because the transformation that I'm going through right now is for some new opportunities that I'm faced with, and they are awesome. But as I said, I'm not going to share right this minute. I want you all to just wait until everything is totally done and put in place, and but I say all that to say, as we start to learn ourselves, and we release a lot of blockage, a lot of maybe fear, disappointment, doubt, all those things, unforgiveness, all the things that I constantly talk about that hold us back from our destiny, from our dreams, our visions, our goals. We start to see things happen that but that at some point in our lives, we wrote it down, or we might have dreamt about it, or we might have spoke about it as to, I would love to do this certain thing, or I would love to go to a certain place, or get this certain thing. And then as you start to invest in yourself, I mean, and when I say invest in yourself, I don't mean financially. I mean invest in learning who you are. Y'all know that if you've been following the podcast show, you know that the journey as to this podcast show is about learning about myself and me sharing with you guys so that you can learn more about yourself so that we can all accomplish our dreams, visions, and goals in an excellent way. And the best way that we can, the best of our ability, and just pretty much letting God do the rest, you know. I apologize if y'all hear any cars in the background, but again, if you're just tuning in, I'm sitting at a gas station so that I wouldn't miss coming at you live today. Parked. And y'all know how I do if you've been following this podcast from the beginning. And so, you know, I have a couple of my visionary dreamers and that I've been working with, and I just left, actually, I just left two of them, you know, kind of back to back. And just to watch them evolve into who they really and truly are, it is so amazing. It's like when you start learning who you are, because you release so much baggage from your life and you let go of the things that's not serving you and that's not benefiting you, you start to get this glow about yourself. You start to even look younger. You know, it's almost like Father Time just turned the hands back and like, you know what? Because you are discovering who you truly are and what your purpose is in this time, space, reality, I'm going to take 10 years off of you. That's what it seems like, you know? I truly, when I look in the mirror, I see that within myself. I see that when I got caught up in, I don't know, in just the world and just the noise of the world of life before I decided to come to, you know, where I was residing at. And I'll say was, and I'll let you catch on to that, you know, until you acknowledge that. And it took me acknowledging, like, you know what? I'm kind of losing who I am. I need to go somewhere in solitude so that I can do some soul searching, some spiritual searching, whichever way you want to look at it, all of the above. And I'm so grateful to myself for paying attention to my intuition, to my higher self, my spirit guide, and going for it. Because it was like the best decision I've ever made to make that move to the meditation and to the retreat. And I've learned so much. I learned so much about me. I learned so much about people. And I know I kind of went off of my visionary dreamers, but they've learned so much. You know, it's like you meet people along the way, along your journey. And if you're really paying attention, people will teach you things about you, you know, about how it is that you affect the world, how you affect people, just by being you. You know, nothing else, not trying to be nobody else, but just being yourself. That's what we all have to learn to do. Just be yourself. Don't put on a costume just to appease other people, just to, and half of the time, sometimes we'll put on a costume because that's what we think they want. But a lot of times people just want to see you. And when you show them who you really are, they can appreciate you, you know? And so the visionary dreamers that I just left that I'm, you know, working with, they're both like just glowing, all because they discovered who they were or who they are. And they discovered their purpose in us working together and us sharing and talking and the different assignments that they completed that I gave them. And I'm just so grateful because in them discovering their self, I discovered my power, more of what it is that I'm put here to do, that I came here to do in this time space reality. And that is, we know dream pusher, but it's not just about the dream. It's not just about the vision or the goal. It's about helping people to really connect with who they are. I'm sorry if y'all heard that little text, but I'm on a cell phone. I heard it loud and clear. But yeah, it's empowering to know that we all have a certain type of power within us. And if we just focus on learning who we are, we will start seeing amazing things start to happen. Not just with people and, putting smiles on people's faces, or allowing people, or, just showing people that, you know what, you have so much more inside you than you really believe. You have to embrace it. And when you embrace it, it's like, opportunities open up. The business starts to take off, the things that you have written in your journal starts to open up to you. I was just sharing that with the department that I was working with as far as doing video editing and the AV photography and everything, that actually that I wrote that in one of my journals some years ago when I first started editing videos and things of that nature, doing all the family videos and some friends events videos, and I just said out loud, it would really be cool to do this for a company, to really like do this on a professional level, and I wrote that down in my journal, and it happened. It happened right when I decided that I want to learn more about me. That opportunity opened up for me, and I love doing that. And I've learned even more things from working with the company. I learned more about my creativity. I learned the fact that I knew that I was a fast learner, but I learned that I really, really catch on fast. I have like a photogenic memory. Like, you show me, let me touch it for a little bit, and it's on. I got it, and that is something that I can transform into other things because I gained that knowledge and that awareness of myself. And this is what I'm saying, like, as you go along the way, and those little, it might seem small, that the things that you might discover about yourself, but it's never small. It's never small, I said that I wanted to really learn yoga and really learn what meditation was, and I said that when I was doing yoga, like taking yoga classes at the Y. I just said it, and I wrote it down. And what happened? I found a place that allowed me to do that, along with, in return, giving my services, and doors will just start opening. Now, the transformation that I'm facing is something that I've always had in me. I've always been a person that loves kids and love to help kids to see who they really are, and to help kids to realize their power. Not just kids, I mean teenagers, So I love working with kids, teenagers, and adults. I have different levels, and when you realize in your life that there are certain times, certain seasons that you are supposed to do things, And when you embrace that about yourself, everything will just move according to plan. And it might not even be your plan that you just spoke out loud, but your thought, So, for instance, you decide, like, wow, I want to be a dance teacher, or, you know, whatever it is that you do, your talents and your gifts, you want to do that thing. And then all of a sudden, you just come across somebody and they have that need just out of nowhere. You could just be talking in line with someone and just the person in front of you just talk about how, perfect example. Okay, so when I first, when my son was preparing for college, and I put the house up for sale in Philly, and we were preparing for college. Um, if you listen back, I don't want to go through the whole story, but basically, I took my car to a family member to get a tune-up, and it kind of killed my whole computer. So, but what I'm saying about the things that you learn and how amazing things happen at that time, you know, I'm looking at it like, oh my God, you know, my computer, this is going to cost me so much money. But as I was driving, because I had borrowed somebody's car to go, I think to go down the way of where I wound up moving, put it that way. I borrowed somebody's car. And so I was driving and I saw this apartment complex, and I always had my resume with me, right? And so I'm just thinking like, oh gosh, what am I going to do? At that time, I had just got hired with New York Life. That's what it was. I was going to an interview. I was coming from an interview. And then I got the call that the computer was shot. That's what it was. Okay, so I'm driving back home, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, now what am I going to do? How am I going to start this position? I need to find a place to live. I got the house up for sale. So I'm thinking it's all bad, but I see this apartment sign, and I'm like, that looks like a nice apartment, you know, complex. So let me go in and check it out. And then as I was getting ready to go in, here, my spirit just was like, grab your resume. You're going to be working there. You're going to live there. And I'm like, some of y'all might not believe when I talk about this stuff, but I'm telling y'all, this is the part of when I'm saying, as you start to learn who you are, amazing things starts, you know, begin to happen. Okay. So I go in and I'm like, you know, it's kind of busy. And I just let the salesperson, or the person that was in charge, do her thing. And she wanted to stop to help me, but I was like, no, go ahead, handle your business, you know. And she did. And so after that, I just was like, oh, I want to see an apartment. And I'm just filling her out, you know, because I know what spirit told me, but she don't know. So I can't just come out and tell her like, oh, listen, my spirit said that I'm going to work here and I'm going to live here. You can't do that, because that would freak people out. So you got to be a little crafty with it, you know. So what I did was I went and I looked at the apartment with her, and I, you know, cracked a couple of jokes, got her a little, you know, comfortable. And then when we got back to the office, I said to her, I said, you know, you look a little busy in here. You know, you're the only one here. And she says to me, yes, you know, I'm looking for an assistant manager, you know, a sales manager. I'm like, really? So I pulled my resume out of my pocketbook, and she looked at it and looked at the fact that I've already done management for an apartment complex, a huge apartment complex. And she's like flipping out, like, oh my gosh. And the person that was in another office, she went in there, and I hear her saying, you're not going to believe this. It's like an angel sent, and she has experience in this and all of this stuff. So, you know, long story short, she called the boss, and the next day the boss called me. We talked, and basically, you know, she offered me a position. And then after that, I told him like, okay, well, I want to live on premise. And so again, long story short, I was offered the job, and I was approved for the apartment. So this is what I'm saying about, as you learn more about who you are and you listen to your higher being give you those messages, amazing things can begin to happen. Something that could have been detrimental if I didn't listen, something that could have um, made me take a step backwards. And if I would have focused on the fact that, oh, my car was wrong. and I don't have no transportation until I figure it out or until I get a new car. If I would have focused on that amazing thing that happened just that fast, just because I listened to the little voice and I was not afraid and I went in there with boldness and I strategically, paced myself with this woman, and filled her out, I wound up getting exactly what my spirit told me I was going to get: the job and the apartment. This is what I'm saying about amazing things just start to happen. And right now, there are so many amazing doors opening up for me. And when I say for me, it's not even just for me. It's for who it is that my next assignment, I'll say that. The people that I'm assigned to for this opportunity. Um, I just want to tell y'all so bad, but I feel like, well, I don't feel like, I pray about everything and it's not for me to share everything right this minute. So I'll just leave it as that. And I know this is kind of like a teaser, but I'm sorry. I'm being obedient to my spirit. And as I tell y'all that sometimes, even when things start to happen for you, that's amazing. That is like, oh my goodness, I don't believe this just happened to me. This is awesome. Sometimes you need to be quiet about it. Just for a little bit. Just until, because everything ain't for everybody at every time. Let's say that, you know. Sometimes you gotta pace yourself, you know. And yeah, just amazing things. I mean, happening for people that I'm helping out. And it's all because of energy, the positive mindset, the positive thoughts, the positive affirmations that we are all saying. The things that they're saying, as we discussed, like changing your verbiage, changing your words, and starting to believe what you speak so that your subconscious can catch up to it and give you that. So one of my visionary dreamers, he discovered some things about himself and within the last couple of weeks. And he saw some of his old friends. And sometimes when you see people that you were connected with some years ago and you have grown, but they haven't, and they don't realize that they haven't grown, and when you leave their presence, you realize, wow, they're still in the same mindset. They're still doing the same thing. That is a clear sign that you are growing. That's a clear sign that you're moving to the next level. And that is an amazing thing because it's teaching you more about you. And then once it teaches you more about you, just from being with people from the past or even going to places that maybe you used to hang out in the past, and then you go in that area or to that place and you're like, this doesn't even feel right anymore. This is like, I got to get out of here. That means you're growing. That means that you are slowly walking into who you truly are, which is a good thing. Don't ever look at it as a bad thing if you can't connect with people from your past, whether it be past friends, even if it's like you go back home and go see your family, and certain people you feel like, oh my goodness, I got to get out of this conversation because it's just not serving me right now. It's not serving my spirit. It's just not benefiting me. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I mean it in a way of once you have grown, certain things you're going to know. You're going to know it's just, this is just not for me anymore. And I know y'all are expecting, when I say amazing things start to happen, y'all expecting me to talk about, oh, all of a sudden you walk into $1 million or just you're granted all of this stuff. No, sometimes we have to look at things that are affecting our soul, our spirit in a great way, we have to start to know that that is amazing. Because there are so many people that go to their grave without ever knowing who they are, without ever learning their purpose in life, learning their assignment, learning, even acknowledging the fact that, maybe they affected somebody's life in a great way. And just because they were who they were at that time, just for being them, A lot of times, when I come across people paths and I feel like they made my heart smile, and I'll say it that way. They made my heart smile at one time or another. I will thank them. And I say, thank you for being you. Because if they wasn't who they were at that moment, then my heart wouldn't have smiled for whatever I got from them. You get what I'm saying? I mean, yes, a person can be who they think they are and be nasty, but ultimately, that's not who we are. We are not nasty people. We are not ignorant or not ignorant as far as not gaining knowledge, but ignorant as far as just disrespectful ignorant. We are not ignorant or disrespectful people by nature. We're not. Things happen along the way that sometimes we just lose who we are. And that's what happens. And that's how, it just starts to affect our lives and our personality. And we become that. But ultimately, naturally, we are all good people inside. It's just the little things that happen in life along the way that's not so amazing to us. And when we get caught up in that, we lose ourselves. So I need everybody to start paying attention to the little things that you weren't expecting to happen to you. The changes that happen in your life, the new people that come across your path that you feel like is an inspiration to you. You feel like when they're around, you're motivated, you're encouraged to do better, to be better. That is amazing. That's something that's amazing happening to you. We don't all get a chance to cross people's path that are inspiration to us. As big as this world is, sometimes it can, especially if you're in your darkness or chaos or whatever, sometimes it can be hard to even acknowledge somebody that is an inspiration or that can be an inspiration or encouraging to you because you're so focused on the darkness. So if y'all listened to me last show, I said I was going to cut the show to 30 minutes to go with the whole scenario that people ride from place to place, and it's mostly 15 to 30 minutes to get to where you're going, so you won't miss the extra 15 minutes that I talk for. But that's what I want to leave y'all with. When I say amazing things start to happen, it's not always about the materialistic things, y'all. And we have to get out of that mentality so that we can start receiving amazing things to happen to us, to our soul, to our spirit, to our mindset, that will allow us to let go of all the things that's not benefiting us in life anymore, to let go of all the blockage, all the baggage, so that the other level of amazing things can start to happen. That is the desires, the materialistic things that we've been hoping for, we've been praying for. That's how we get to that level of amazement. The opportunities. That's how we get to that level of amazement. When we start acknowledging the amazing things that's happening within us as we transform our lives and become who we truly are. That is what is amazing. Work on you. Work on learning who you truly are. Get in your quiet space, you know. Make your list out. How do you want to be this time next year? What are the characteristics that you feel that you can work on? Work towards that goal. Write it down. It's you. This is for you. Start investing in you. Show up for you. Once you start doing that, then everybody else will start investing in you, showing up for you. Doors will start opening up for you. Everything will start being brighter and lighter for you, your life, your family. Start paying attention, guys, to the amazing things that's happening around you. So that's it. That's the show today. And I hope you all enjoyed it because I still have a good hour and a half to go to get to where I have to be. But all for you guys, I have stopped, and I love talking to you, and I look forward to meeting you all one day. I'm going to start having events soon. I mean, things are really moving really fast, and I so want to share it, but I'm gonna pace this thing out, okay? So until Wednesday, this is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bullshit. And this is the show, Chronicles of Living podcast show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know, as extraordinary folks doing the damn thing the best way we can. And I truly love you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening all over the world. I see the stats. I can't see you, but I see the stats. I mean, the UK, Canada, India, Japan. Oh my gosh, and that's something that's amazing that's happening that I wrote down in my journal, that this podcast will reach the world, and it's going on. And that's what I mean. Amazing things are happening. I love you guys.
Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Living, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chronicles-of-livin-podcast. Until next time, this is Adionne, your dream pusher. I love you guys.